Wow, that racing in Colorado was out of control. That was so awesome. Jett is an absolute alien. Not an illegal alien, an alien. I don't think he's from this planet. Eli Tomac rode good, but he just got outpaced. And Hunter Lawrence, boy, his whole facade around him is coming apart. He was caught lying. Yes, he's caught lying about the Lucas Myrtle situation. And I got the receipts to show it. Check out Nano-Xtreme. This is the best pain solution that I've ever used. And a lot of these top guys they figured out it helps with arm pump. So yeah, a lot of these top guys are using Nano-Xtreme to combat arm pump, one of the most dreaded things a motorcycle rider can go through. So head over to Nano-Xtreme and use code Cooksey for free shipping. And seeing those guys in that hot summer day at altitude, that is the most important time to stay hydrated. I mean, the bikes couldn't even stay hydrated. But if you want a custom formula designed to optimize your hydration, get yourself some energy fuel. Head over to Complete Racing Solutions. Coach Rob's got energy fuel that will have you performing at your optimum. Check out Ride Strapped. Goggles, glasses, shirts. Just a really cool company with some cool people. Ridestrapped.com. They got some stuff coming in pretty soon. I'll have some announcements for you. But check out Ride Strapped. Get a shirt, get some glasses, and check those guys out.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
So I got to start today by just giving credit to the promoters and the people around the sport for recognizing what a disaster their Pride Instagram post was last week. I really appreciate them not jamming it down our throats on the broadcast, so I have to give credit where credit is due. They listened, and they kept it about racing, not about someone's sexual preference or a political movement. So thank you to the promoters for not jamming that down our throats, and thank you to the teams for not obliging and making your bikes look like a rainbow. And I also want to give credit, and I know they didn't mean to do this, but the way they treated the women's class at the end of the day was awesome. That is a huge step up to give these badass girls TV time. They deserve it. And to see them out there on that torn up track, sending that triple, those girls are savage. But I'm going to break that race down in a video. I'm going to do a couple more videos this week. That'll be in a later video. But yeah, those girls, I was impressed and I was so happy. I wish we could see all of their rounds. I would watch every single one, and I support the WMX series 100%. That performance by Jett Lawrence was superhuman. He is the best racing talent that I've ever seen. And when I grew up, it was Rick Johnson, David Bailey, Ron Lachine, gone through the McGrath era, Carmichael era, Stewart era, Tomac era. There's been so many great riders, and I can say without a doubt, Jett Lawrence is the best talent that I've ever seen, period. The way he can manage races, it's something special. The way he's able to just cruise around, keep those guys like a couple seconds behind, and then when they make their run, when Eli goes to beast mode, when Plessinger goes out of his mind, he just goes, oh, okay, I just got to give it a little bit more, and he breaks these poor guys. It is so frustrating for these dudes to think they have him, get there, and then he just has more speed. I don't know how he does it. I can't emphasize how hard it is mid-moto to just say, oh, okay, I'm going to go harder and change your pace. It's crazy. Deegan has started doing that in the 250 class, but still, Jett has absolutely perfected speed control and managing risks better than anyone that I've ever seen in this sport. It doesn't hurt that he's got an on-track bodyguard in Hunter Lawrence. That second moto when Hunter's in front of Jett, and then as soon as he sees Tomac coming, he lets Jett by and then holds up Tomac for a second. That has got to be so frustrating for these guys. And don't get me wrong, I'm not downplaying it. My brother and I raced together a lot, and we always did stuff like that. It's your teammate, it's your brother. Of course you're going to race like that. They're not doing anything illegal, but it has got to be frustrating for Plessinger, Tomac, and these guys that they have to work really hard to pass Hunter Lawrence, and Jett just gets to go by whenever he's faster. But don't get me wrong, Jett doesn't need Hunter's help. It's nice, but he doesn't need it. He'd be winning either way. He is the most complete rider ever. He's got speed, fitness, racecraft, and this ability to minimize mistakes and only push when he needs to. That's something that I've never seen before. James Stewart would go out and win by a minute. Carmichael, a minute. They would get out there and then they would manage risk at the end, but they didn't have a way to just keep guys 2 or 3 seconds behind, and then when they came, dig down and give it a little bit more. They were almost always going 100%. Jett rides around at 80. And Eli Tomac, as good as he looked, in fact, I think he looks as good as he has ever in his career. And I think if Jett's not out there, we're talking about Eli's domination and he's getting in front of these guys. But the way that Jett is able to manage him, and when he sees beast mode, he cranks it up. Eli comes and he gets this momentum, and then he doesn't make the pass, and he almost has to go back to Jett's pace, whatever Jett wants to run it at. It's crazy. Now, I think Eli Tomac's going to win some motos, and I think Jett's going to manage the risk. And on certain days when Tomac goes beast mode, and if Jett's not in the right position, he's just going to manage it and do exactly what he did at Hangtown in that first moto. Stay in there, not lose points. I mean, he still hasn't even lost an overall. The only overall win that he lost was last year when he had that gigantic crash at Hangtown. Every other time he lined up on a gate at a 450 Motocross National, Jett has been your overall winner. And I know they kept calling it Tomac's hometown race because he's from Colorado, but he's from Cortez, Colorado. Let me just put this for you guys on the map. It's shorter a drive for Eli Tomac to go from Cortez, Colorado to Las Vegas than it is to that track. So it's not exactly his hometown track, but they do claim him in Colorado, and that crowd loved him. With that said, that's still not Eli's best track. Eli has been good there, but he hasn't been great. When they get to Red Bud and Southwick and some of these other tracks, that's where you're going to see Tomac get a couple moto wins, but he's already fallen so far behind in points. I don't see him. I just see Jett managing it and taking the title. And I also want to phrase this in a way that Jett is overcoming some of the most difficult things you can ever have to deal with in life. You have a brother and a demonstrative dad who have really blown up his public image. With that said, it is hard not to like Jett Lawrence. He's such a likable kid. He rides so good. Whether you like him or not, you must appreciate the greatness of Jett Lawrence, and I absolutely appreciate it. The dude is next level. Now, if Darren and Hunter could stop destroying his public image, then yeah, we can go ahead and he could be next level star, but they have done so much damage. I wish there were a way that he could get away from his family and just be the superstar that he's meant to be. Because he's overcoming stuff that would wreck a mortal man. To deal with the kind of drama off the track that he's had to deal with, that has been all created mostly because of his brother Hunter and blowing up, the agent and accusing him of stuff that I have proof that he's lying about. But for Jett to have an ACL fixed, overcome all the off-track drama, and to still just be so much better than everyone. I can't even, I'm literally just in awe of how good this kid is. He is an alien. Precision Transport, the best shipping company out there. They're family owned, they've got reasonable pricing, and they believe in customer service, the lost art of customer service. So the Madden family, they're great people. Head over to pretransport.com if you need to ship anything. It'll help your business maximize your profits. So head over to pretransport.com. Alias MX gear. Ooh, we're just a couple weeks away from the 2026 launch. Get your Alias gear fast because it won't last long. That's aliasmx.com. And if you need some bicycle riding gear, they still have some of that in stock. So head over to aliasmx.com. And I saw a lot of the e-motorcycles, the Surons and stuff, in the pits at Colorado. I'm telling you what, if you want a badass, this outperforms the Suron. It's the new Powersports XQi3. I've been riding mine. It's got a full linkage. It's faster. It's got the 72 volt battery. And a lucky member is going to win one. I'm giving one away to a member in December. So all you got to do is sign up and be a member, and you are entered to win the new Powersports XQi3 that we're giving away in December. So Aaron Plessinger, the lovable cowboy from Ohio, wants a moto win so bad in this 450 class, and he's close, man. He was riding out of his mind that first moto, and if it wasn't for Jett, he definitely would have got that win. But you can see Plessinger is clearly just going, you know what? I don't care about the overall, and he's trying to empty the tank in one moto just to get that elusive win just off his back. I don't know if he can do it, but man, he sure is trying. And man, the cowboy, once again, he's something that's great for our sport. How can you watch an interview with Aaron Plessinger and not like the guy? Add to that his flowing style out there on the bike, just sending it with the hair out the back. He's quite the character, but he's a for real character. Like, he's really that guy. He's this goofy, likable guy that is just an absolute savage on the track. Justin Cooper. So I really thought this was the round where he could get a moto win. I don't think he's going to get a moto win this year. If there was a track that he could do it, it would have been Colorado. The problem is as great as Justin Cooper's riding, he's dealing with beast mode Tomac, and I know a lot of you guys say, that's not beast. Yeah, that's beast mode. I don't care what you say. That's the best I've ever seen Eli Tomac ride. He is pushing to a level where he's going sideways, hammering that thing, the bike's smoking. That is beast mode Eli, and if it wasn't for Jett, we'd be going, wow, he's so awesome. But Justin Cooper is faced with probably the greatest talent ever, and then Tomac at his peak. Dang, that's a deep field. That is tough. For him to get a win in this series, if Justin Cooper, when we're in any other era, we'd be talking about moto wins and maybe even in the battle for a championship, but he happens to be lined up with two of the best to ever do it at their peak. Now to Hunter the Liar. So Hunter Lawrence went on Gypsy Tales, and he didn't even have to mention this. It's crazy how he laid the lie in there, when if he just kept his mouth shut, we probably wouldn't have caught this. So he laid something out that I have proof is a lie.
Funny backstory. Former agent owed me money, said he would buy it, use my own money to buy it, so it kind of tarnished that thing.
That car.
But so I was like, I don't want anything to do with that anymore.
So what Hunter's talking about here is his car collection. He loves fast cars. But Darren Lawrence is like Britney Spears' dad. Like, he does not let these boys buy anything. Even though they're grown-ass adults, Hunter's married, got his own life, he's still scared to death of his father. So he goes to Lucas Myrtle and says, hey, Lucas, I need to get this car. Is there a way we can finagle money, make it look like you bought this for me? And then my dad won't be able to say anything. We'll just say it was a gift from you. And he's pretending like he didn't know about the wire transfer. Well, here's the text where he tells Hunter, and Hunter sends over the money because he knows he's paying for it. He knows darn well Lucas isn't using his money to buy it. He's giving it to Lucas to buy it to hide from Darren. To add a little bit of more context to this, here's Jett and Lucas laughing about how if Darren finds out, Hunter's going to get in big trouble. It's crazy to me, but this is common when you are raised by an abusive parent, where you're so scared of them that you're willing to tell lies to avoid their wrath. Clearly, Darren has done a number on these boys, and they're terrified of him, as they probably should be. There's been multiple allegations of Darren Lawrence punching their special needs brother. He punched Jett in the Geico rig. That's not an allegation. That actually happened for sure. And if you're willing to be abusive inside a factory rig with your 17-year-old son or 16-year-old son, whatever he was at that time, yeah, I can only imagine what goes on behind closed doors. So it's weird how Hunter immediately went public with these accusations. Was he trying to just hide the fact that he went behind his dad's back and bought this stuff, and he's trying to throw Lucas under the bus because he's so terrified of him? Only Hunter can answer that. But what Hunter's done is created just a crap storm for him and his family by not manning up and just going to his father and saying, hey, I'm buying a car. It's my money. I'm an adult. Instead, he's going public and blasting Lucas Myrtle for things that didn't happen. And I'm telling you, on the 16th, this case is going to get dismissed. I've seen the evidence that they have against Lucas Myrtle. And while it's stupid and Lucas never should have participated in hiding a car from Darren, that's where Lucas screwed up. He should have known. Listen, Darren might not be my client. The two boys are they're adult clients. He should have known that Darren is running them. And he should have never participated in Hunter's little scheme to get this car without letting his dad know about it. But this gives you an idea of how the Lawrences operate and their lack of credibility in the public when they're accusing Lucas of these different things.
Former agent owed me money, said he would buy it, use my own money to buy it, so it kind of tarnished that.
And I'm sure Lucas never thought it would go to the level it's got by Hunter Lawrence just blowing him out and destroying him publicly and ruining his life just to save face with his father. Hunter has taken what would have been a tongue lashing from his father or possibly a physical beating from his dad and turned it into a disastrous libel case where Lucas Myrtle's going to win this, and Hunter's going to have to pay him so much in damages. He made a bad situation 100 times worse with lying. Hunter's in deep crap, and it's going to cost him a lot. And it really does suck that Jett Lawrence, the greatest talent that I've seen in my lifetime riding a dirt bike, the things he can do are amazing. His personality is just bubbly. Like I said, it's hard not to like him. Even when he's a dumbass and says racist stuff, he doesn't seem like he truly means it. I don't believe Jett's a true racist. I think he's a dumb kid who just says what he feels. And I honestly think if Hunter and Darren had not brought all this to public, Jett would be on the verge of being the superstar to truly take this sport to the next level. He's got the talent. He's got the mental strength to work through all this. And if you don't think he's been through some crap, holy cow, I've seen text messages where Jett was on the verge of ending his life. That's the kind of mental abuse that Darren has put them through, to the point where he couldn't bring his girlfriend to the Paris Supercross. Hunters wishing death upon Jett's girlfriend. Yeah, that actually happened. There are text messages that I've seen with that. And after the court case gets dismissed, I'll probably put them up on the screen. But yeah, that's out there. But for Jett to make it through the emotional turmoil of this disastrous family to still become the most amazing rider I've ever seen on a dirt bike, wow. One day they'll do a documentary on this whole thing and tell all, and everyone's going to be like, wow. They want it to be this fun-loving story about this Australian family that came from nothing and conquered the world. Well, it's a lot darker than that, unfortunately. But in the end, Jett might be the one shining light of this whole thing, and he's too good. It's crazy how good he is. He hasn't let any of this stuff get to him, which, I'm sorry, I don't know how many people have the mental strength to make it through the things that Jett has had to go through. That on-track mental strength, it carries off the track too, because he's been through some crap. So while I'm not a big fan of the Lawrences and what they did to Lucas Myrtle, I don't know that it's all Jett. I think Jett's made some mistakes, but he's a kid. Hunter, Darren, yeah, they're a problem. Unfortunately, this story isn't going away anytime soon, and it's probably going to get worse for the Lawrence camp before it gets better. But it looks like Jett's able to just rise above it, and I'm glad, because I wouldn't want to see the greatest talent of my lifetime taken down by off-track shenanigans by his dad and brother. Anyway, thank you, members. I appreciate everything. One of you guys is set up to win a Coach Rob Energy Fuel Pack, the hat, beanie, and 2 big bags of energy fuel. And I'm telling you, if you need a hydration drink, this is the best one ever. One of you guys will win this pack in the end of June. So thank you guys. I appreciate everything. Here's your member of the day.